Hello everyone, welcome to Texture Myth. From this session, we are going to start another series where we will be talking about the Control Value Accessor. So in this session, we will talk what is Control Value Accessor, why we use it, and also the use cases of Control Value Accessor. So by the end of this session, you will be able to understand all these things. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on what is Control Value Accessor. But prior to that, you should know about the basic thing about Angular forms, because this is a continuation session. And for the detailed content, you can also refer the Texture Myth digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find more than 3,500 plus sessions available in both Hindi as well as English language. So without any language barrier, you can consume that content. Okay. So I think now we are good to start with the session. Here you can see currently I am in app.component.html file, where I have noted down few headings like Angular course by Texture Myth, forms in Angular, Control Value Accessor, right? So these are just a heading that tells us the title of today's session. Now, after that, I have noted down some of the theoretical pointer that will help you to understand this concept, and also it will help you to recall these things at the time of your interview or exam preparation. Okay, fine. So let's go one by one. Try to find out like what exactly the Control Value Accessor is. So first question, like doesn't matter if you are in interview or exam, they might ask you the direct question like what exactly it is. So you can simply take the reference of these pointers to answer the question, and these are self-explanatory points. So one by one I will go through it and I'll explain you. The first line says Control Value Accessor or CVA is an interface in Angular forms. Okay, it allows a custom component to behave like a form control. It acts as a bridge between Angular Forms API and the DOM element. With it, Angular form can read and write values from the custom components. So we have learned all these 4 points. So let's go in detail, like what exactly these pointers are saying. So first pointer is making it very clear that it is nothing but an interface for the Angular forms. Okay, and it allows custom component to behave like a form control. Okay, so let's say for any particular requirement, if you created a custom component, so in that case, if you want that your custom component should behave like just normal as a form control, so in that case we will use Control Value Accessor, because it allows us to use the Control Value Accessor values in a it allows component to behave like a form control. Okay, then we have third point that says it acts as a bridge between Angular Forms API and the DOM element. Okay, so it basically acts as a bridge. Okay, so you can assume that if there is a custom component or maybe in simple terms you can say that if we are using any form API and DOM element, so it will help us to communicate between them. Okay, act as a bridge to communicate or to pass the required thing within the communication link. Okay, and then fourth point is very important, because it clears the thing that Angular form can read and write the values from the custom component. So if you are utilizing Control Value Accessor or CVA, sometimes we call it as a CVA. So if we are using Custom Value Accessor or CVA, it will allow Angular forms to read and write the values for the custom component. Okay, and that is why we can say that it is very important for Angular forms. Now there is one line that will help us to conclude this thing. So in conclusion, we can say that it allows a custom component to work with form control name and ng model. Okay, So I think this thing is clear to all of you, like what exactly the form control is, what exactly the control value accessor is. Okay, now once you have answered this thing, then for sure like there would be next question that will ask you why control value accessor is used. So in that case, what we will do, we will simply use this thing, like this entire lines will help you to explain this thing in a better way. So let's see from the scratch. So Angular forms, we all know that Angular forms work directly with the native HTML controls like input, select, text area. We know that. So in that case, if we create a custom component, then in that case, Angular does not know how to interact with it. Okay. So if you are just using the normal custom component, with controls like input, select, text area, so in that case Angular does not know like how to interact with it, okay, how to communicate with it. So in that situation, in that condition, if we use control value accessor, then it tells the Angular how to set value, how to read value, and how to touch events, how to track touch events. So I think with these pointers it is clear that yes, it is very important. Control value accessor is very important for us, and if we are using it, then it is very easy to set the value, to read the value, and to track the touch events. Okay, so I think this question is also answered, that why do we use control value accessor in Angular. Now the next important things comes as a use cases, because now we know that what is control value accessor, and we also know why we use it. But the next thing is use cases, like what all scenarios are there, what all conditions are there where we can use it or where we are supposed to use it. So yes, custom like control value accessor CVA used when creating custom reusable forms, form controls such as custom drop down, star rating, toggle switch, custom date picker, quantity counter, rich text editor. So these are all some use cases. These are the components where we can use it. Okay, and these components must work with Angular reactive form. Okay, so these are the all very important use cases where we can utilize the control value accessor. So today, like mainly we just go through we just go through the overview of control value accessor, like what is control value accessor and why do we use it, what are the use cases of it. From next session, like we will take few more theoretical questions if needed, and then after that we will start the practical examples where we will practically perform like how to implement. Firstly we will discuss like what is the issue with the control value accessor, and then we will see how control value accessor can be implemented with your form in order to make sure that it is communicating properly with your custom component. So these all things what we discussed today as a theory, we will verify it with a simple and separate example, okay, in upcoming examples. So meanwhile, what you guys can do, you can simply start preparing this thing, notes you can prepare, you can just walk through the things that we are doing here, and after that, like let's when we start with the practical example, you can start creating the examples for it. Okay, and same thing, like you can share like if there is any queries, questions, or suggestion related to any session or any playlist, you can simply reach out to me through the comment section. So I would be more than happy to answer all your questions and queries there. Okay, so yeah, I think now we are good to wind up this session, and as I mentioned, like if there is anything, you can reach out to me and just do the practice. From next session we will explore few more things related to this. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.